Hello live wires, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today I'm making some wire wrapped sun earrings. You are going to need the Beadalon German style wire. I have 14 gauge and 20 gauge, and I'm using the flat nose pliers from Beadalon and the nipper tool. We're going to start with about 6 inches of the 20 gauge German wire, and with the flat nose pliers we are going to make some sharp bends. Now the German wire is really nice for this project because it's a little bit harder than artistic wire. This German wire is considered to be a quarter hard, whereas the artistic wire is more like a dead soft. And so this one is a medium temper wire, and it's really great. It makes some sharp bends. It's a nice firm wire, and it's still easy to work with, and it's tarnish resistant. So we are going to do 10 of these little zigzags for the sun. So once you have all your zigzags, we need to curve it around so it'll make the shape of the sun. So just with your thumb and finger, you can curve it around. You can use the flat pliers to adjust the bends so it becomes circular. And just keep working with it. Go slowly, adjust each point so they're more or less even, and you'll see it'll gradually work its way in to the sun shape. Don't worry if it's absolutely perfect, but do try to adjust each point so they're not too uneven. And then we're going to clip the ends just flush, so it just looks like a complete sun, and the ends are just the same length. So that's perfect, just like that. The ends touch each other. So there's the sun, and then to make the round part, I'm working right off the roll. The 14 gauge German wire is quite stiff, so it's easier for me to work off the roll. We're going to bring it around the end of the stepped wooden mandrel. You can use any round form that you like. And then we're using the hard wire cutters from Beadalon to clip it, because this one is quite stiff. Don't use your best cutters to cut this 14 gauge German wire. Now make sure the circle is the right size, and then we're going to cut the other end flush and trim it a little bit so it's really flush. You can file it a bit if you want them really flat, and you want these ends to touch. We don't want them to overlap. So that just makes a large size jump ring. You can hammer it if you want it a little harder, and you'll see the sun fits right around the outside. Now we want to make sure the end isn't at the top, and we want to make sure the two open ends don't connect, so we'll just put them a little bit staggered so the open ends aren't exactly lined up. And then we're going to start winding it around with 24 gauge artistic wire. So the artistic wire is a little softer, a little easier to work with, and 24 gauge is a good size to do this wrapping. We're just going to work our way around the sun, wrapping it twice at each spot. So go around twice, bring the wire around to the back so it's slightly hidden behind the circle. Hold it firmly with your thumb and finger and keep winding it around so it holds firmly in place. And give the wire a good little tug as you go so there's no slack in the wire. Bring it around again, give it a good little tug, bring it a second time, and give it a little tug. So once you have all of those wraps, we're going to clip the end flush, clip both ends, and then we can just pinch them in with the flat pliers. You can also use your nylon jaw pliers. These flat pliers actually have an inner nylon jaw that you can use to push down the wires. You can make sure that the ends are just pushed in there nice and flush so they're not sticking out. Just make sure they're right in there against the other wire. They're not scratchy. And there's the finished sun. So for now, if you want to put a bead inside, you can. This is optional. So you can either take a head pin or make your own head pin just by turning the end into a centered loop with your round pliers. Pinch it in a little bit. And then we're going to grab a bead and we're going to dangle that from the sun. So make sure it's at the right height, that it's centered. Take your round pliers, bring the wire out and around with the bail making pliers to make that centered loop. And then we're going to clip the end flush. And then we're going to need to open it up, hang it in one of the rays, close it up, make sure it's closed properly, and you can make your own earring hooks. I'll link up a video for that in the description below. And there's your finished earring with the dangling bead. Or if you want the bead to be more fixed, get a bead. This is an 8mm miracle bead. We're going to put some 24 gauge wire through twice. That way it's going to be centered. It's not going to flip around. So we've attached that bead with the wire, and now we want to center it in the sun. So just put the wires through opposite sun rays. Just bring it right through. Hold it firmly when you wind it around so it doesn't move position. And then we're going to bring the wire around about 2 or 3 times. Flip it over. Do one little wind first to make sure it's in the right position. And then you can wind it more after. So see, it's centered, and it also helps to grab the end with the chain nose pliers because it's kind of hard to grip when the wire is a little short. And try to make sure that the bead is centered in one of the rays. And then we're going to clip the end with the flush cutters or the nipper tool. And we'll do the same on the other side. Just do our last little wind with the wire. Make sure you pull it tight so there's no slack in there. It's nice and secure. And then we're going to clip the end. So you see it makes a nice little centered bead in there. Put it on the table to make sure that wire goes to the center back so you can't see it. And then we'll get our earring hook and we'll attach it to the ray. Make sure it's not the ray that has the opening. And there's the earring with the bead. There they are without the beads. And I'll link up other tutorials for sun and moon earrings in the description below. We have my classic sun and moon earrings that I used to sell in the 90s and a sun ring from the ring challenge.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook.
You can get the templates in my Etsy DIY shop. Be sure to use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase 5 or more templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my shop.
So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.